G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to GameStar TV. I'm EJ, and joining me for this losers bracket semi-final will be Kakachu. Kakachu, welcome to the commentary team from the panel for the first time today.
Good to be on here live.
And the team's going at it in this losers bracket semi-final. So this is basically the match now that chooses the other grand finalist. We have Avant Garde, who just lost to Abyss, and we have Kings, who knocked out Corvidae in the losers elimination match. So Avant versus Kings should be a pretty good, pretty much a cracker of a game.
Yeah, it's going to be shaping up to a close series. Wouldn't be surprised if we get our first 2-1 today.
Yeah, it'd be good. We've pretty much rolled through with the 4-0s fairly consistently, or the 2-0, I should say, in the best of threes leading up until this one. We are just going through a bit of discussion just on map selection, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with you very shortly with that. While we're waiting for that, though, I will bring in the rest of the panel to have a bit of a preview for this losers bracket semi-final. And we're going to start with Calder. Avant versus Kings. Avant coming off that loss. Kings coming off a win over Corvidae. Do you think that's going to have any issue coming into the map?
Let's try that again. Might mute it again. As long as Avant just shake off that loss, I think they could definitely pull off the win, but it should be a close game. It should be a good one to watch.
Alrighty, so the teams can start the match whenever you're ready to get them started there. Crisis, Harto, who's your money on? Is it Abyss or is it Avant or is it Kings?
I'm going to have to go for the Kings in this one, just from based on previous results with Avant. They seem to always end up taking it.
And I hold shift. I don't know if you saw Kings play earlier in the day. You definitely saw Avant play in Abyss then, but your selection for the match?
It's going to be tough. I think this one goes down to a 4-3 scoreline. I have this one going Avant's way, though.
And Kakachu, have you seen the map draft at all? I should have asked you that when we were starting. There's been a lot of chat in the Paladins chat, so if there was, it may well have scrolled.
No, I have not seen it, but just between the two teams' histories, I would have to give it to Kings. Definitely going to be a close series, though. Like, one misplay could swing it either way.
Yeah, and we saw that. I was when we were talking that previous match, the winners bracket semi-final, and you were talking what you thought the key moment of the match was. I really thought the key moment was the start of the fifth round when Abyss retook that point off Avant. That was a really strong, and that got them then the third and fourth point when they were 2-all, and really good Paladins action for today, though. All right, so there we go. It appears we have the picks up there. Kakachu, just run us through the bans and the picks for the maps for this one.
All right. Well, looks like Frog Isle has been banned, as well as Stone Keep, with the first pick being Timber Mill and then Ice Mines. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Timber Mill and Ice Mines, two unconventional maps, not really played too often.
But they also they blocked the strengths. We know that Avant likes Stonekeep. That was, they won earlier today on that in very convincing form to start the day off. So not surprised that got blocked. So we'll get the match. Well, we're going to draw the raffle and we'll get the game started. So if Agro or someone can just type in Paladin's chat to tell them to please start, that would be awesome. And we will get this semi-final, losers bracket semi-final underway. While we're waiting, might as well thank our sponsors, High Res Studios, for supporting the competition and putting the prizes up. As we know, it's $1,500 per player for first, $800 per player for second, with some in-game crystals. So fantastic prizes, and thank you to High Res for that. Plantronics, the official headset sponsor of GameStar. Zowie, strive for perfection. And if you want to strive for perfection, go and grab some Zowie gear yourself. They're our scoreboard sponsor. And of course, Split Media Labs. We use XSplit to broadcast our matches. We manage them through Challenge, and we're all hanging out over at player.me. And there was actually a meetup in Melbourne on the weekend that Kid Fox and a few others went to with the player.me guys. So they have little social meetups and stuff. Great community thing. If you're a gamer, get on board. Kakachu, we are into champ selection. Let's see if we get any surprises.
So far, just looking like a standard draft with the Makoa first pick for Kings.
Yeah, Ruckus.
Ryan looking to pick up the double tank with Kunt.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a standard draft.
Yeah, it'll be a standard draft. And there's their strengths as well. I mean, we've seen Lionberg pretty much all day rocking the ruckus and doing pretty successfully with it as well. Just running through the two teams as they line up for Avant, we have Lionberg, Kunt, Soch GG, the Makawa champion, Rice, he's the Dragos champion, and Corland bringing up the rear. And over on the boys from Kings, Flaretron, Myth93 for April, Human Radio, and Struth, Lord X. And Lord X really probably has to pick up his game. He's been quite quiet in the first two games for Kings. If he has a good, strong one in this one and backs up Myth, who's been very strong all game. And
Struthlord's definitely not a pop-off player, but he looks for consistency. I'm not sure if that Sky pick is intentional.
Really? And the Bomb King?
But let's see how this goes.
Intentional or not, it's locked in. So now you reckon on comms they're all going, holy crap, who's the best Sky we got?
This is definitely an interesting draft coming out on the side of AV. We'll see where they have to go from here.
Take us through the final choices, though, that have been locked in for King.
Yeah, King's picking up the EV Charlin and Maldamba, all standard strong meta picks. Definitely looking to just muscle out the opponents with better aim
and
strong team play.
Is Sky a particular counter to anyone in that meta on the other team?
No, not really, actually.
Ouch.
Sky gets destroyed by everyone on the enemy team. Eevee can two-shot her, Cassie can two-shot her, Makoa can two-shot her, Charlene can two-shot her. So it's definitely an interesting choice. Maybe looking for potential combos with Bomb King or an interesting flank, but I have no idea where this is going to go. I'm sure Avant have a plan, though.
Myth has just posted that they panic picked, so the captain from
all right, that would make a lot more sense considering the Sky pick.
All right, well, it's finals day action. Let's see what. No, it's finals day action, and they're breaking the meta, and they're asking Crisis for a bit of a ruling. So we'll just work out what they're going to do. We'll see really what Avant want to do. They picked it. If they want to play it, it's up to them. They had lobby lag. Ooh. I had itchy balls, but ooh. Well, if both teams agree to it, Crisis, I'm open to it, but both teams need to agree. If both captains agree, we'll go with it. If it's a genuine issue with the game being in development, we're happy to let it re-roll.
Yeah, as a player, I can definitely say lobby lag is a real thing, especially in custom games.
Yeah. So we just get Myth to type his response in. Lionberg naturally. Oh, Myth has not agreed there, Crisis. Oh, looks like we're game on with the Sky.
No.
I reckon.
So what I think is happening is he said, I don't want to agree, but I think he's going to because he's, he asked for a remake as soon as it locked Sky. Yeah. So,
all right, let's do a remake, and unfortunately, we will. The game. It happens. We get auto choice picks and things. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate this had to happen.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. It would have been fun though, Kakatu, to see Sky just zipping around, stealthing up, trying to blow some bugger up. You know, you never know.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to seeing what they were planning on doing with that, actually.
We won't get to see it. It depends. Maybe in the best of 5 in the final, if Abyss are up 2-0 and really dominating, they might cowboy it up for us. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I'd love to see some Diggy Sky.
So the question is, did Kings pick Charlene at all? No. So there's no.
Yes,
Charlene. Oh, he did. Yeah, they did. So that's a bit of an issue.
Yep, but it's the last pick as well, wasn't it?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to remake. That's what our ruling is. Fixed prior. So
yeah, look,
all
I think
picks prior
in
to Sky.
the interest of the competition, you know, we're not playing for sheep stations. Let's have some fun, and you want a proper game. They're remaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a remake to the semi-final here underway. The winner will advance to take on Abyss for all the marbles, and whoever loses go away with, well, handshakes to each other and a bit of a pat on the back. I need to drop out of that game. Exit game. Oops. Maybe not all the way out. Go EJ.
Oh, I had to drop all the way out, so I think you might have to. I couldn't get back into the lobby.
Yeah, there's no
I had
way
to
to
close my game as well. It's the only way.
So we'll just load into the lobby again, ladies and gentlemen, and then be right back with Avant versus Kings.
Hey, how we going? Are we on Air Crisis? I didn't quite catch what you said then. I am. Love it. Get some. All right, so we're loading back into the game here, and then we'll get the match under the way. And both teams have agreed to the lobby ruling. There's a bit of discussion over timing, etc. But, you know, as I said, if you're paying for 150K over in America, maybe the rules committee be brought out to adjudicate. But we're not. We're playing for some crystals and some fun and to keep the oceanic scene ticking along in what is going to be a great game when it comes into its full release, and that is Paladins. And we've got 217 people watching an Oceanic Paladins game itself. That's pretty damn good, Kakachu. Got to be happy with that.
I know the side from Kings won't be too happy that the draft continued, but in the end of the day, we're all here for some fun. The Paladins community is quite close in the Oceanic scene, and we're all friends in the end of the day.
Yeah, that's just it. And as we said, got to be played in good spirits, and we're ready to get going. So it'll be interesting to see who they pick in replace of that Sky now. That will be the most interesting thing. And they wanted the Shaolin, so
that's the thing. We're going to have two fundamental changes. The first one is that Shaolin is definitely going to be on Avant Garde, and the second one is who's going to replace that now. So no Sky, but who's going to replace that on King's side? And we might actually see a completely different draft for the second half of the draft, since Shaolin is going to be on Avant Garde side.
You think Avant will use that as their first pick? And not
what the ruling that we've made is the draft has to be exactly the same until that third pick that Avant Garde has, at which point they're going to pick Shaolin, and then, you know, it's open season for the teams.
All right, so I'm cued into Lionsberg match. Let's get this underway, Crisis, and bring on the losers bracket semi-final.
My game is bugging out, so you may need to drag someone else in for this one.
It's an all-in frenzy here, ladies and gentlemen, for the casting of the grand finals. And we got 2 games to go. Let's hope people's clients will stay together for us.
And of course, a shout out to our international viewers that have come over from the /host by Paladins game, the official channel of Paladins. Head on into Gamester TV1 and enter the raffle. Follow us and enter the raffle. We're going to be giving away a Vandal Mave. So if you don't have the new champion, here's your chance to get your hand on the new champion. And we'll be giving away, during the grand final, we'll actually be giving away Mave as well as Unicorn. Candy Unicorn.
A Candy Unicorn.
Candy Unicorn.
Ooh, I love a Candy Unicorn.
Well, Devils is saying he doesn't think that's right, because you should just have one pick replacing the Sky. But the problem is that
we made the
Shaolin Shaolin was picked as the last pick on Kings, so we can't. Apparently we've started.
Alrighty, so we are into the draft process, and Human Radio with the Makawa. So let's see if they go to plan. Ruckus, Fernando.
Select a champion.
And let's see the counter picks. So Cassie for Myth is Struthler, who ended up on going to pick it. Oh, we've got an Eevee and a Casson now. So Hato, it might well be you joining me, dude, if Kakachu is out on that one. Welcome to the commentary team.
Oh, I'm not sure if mine's been bugging out basically every game as well.
Hey, EJ, I'll be your partner for this dance.
I'm here still if you guys.
No, I'm going with I hold shift. Bring in the international.
I'm rejected.
Bring in the big guns, boys.
I've been told to go and sit back down on the chair, and I'm going to be sipping my drink while I watch EJ and I hold shift.
Just very quickly, we have. They trolled us with a fake Sky pick. I thought they were going to do it there just to reverse troll. Common sense prevailed, of course. Yeah. Very good.
Would have been fun, that's for sure.
And if they pull off a win with it, that would have just been gold. All right, the teams are locked in here. So Avant Garde, Lionberg, Kuhn, Such GG, Corland, and Rice. And we've got Bomb King, Shah, Lynn, Fernando, Grover, and Ruckus. Fairly standard pick for the boys from Avant. Over on Kings, Human Radio, Struth Lord, Myth, Flaretron, and for April with the Markoa, Evie, Kinessa, Cassie, and Mal Dumba. So I hold shift. Any surprises there for either of those?
I'm really interested to see what the Bomb King's going to do here, because there's a lot of mobile characters. You know, the dodge roll from Cassie will pretty much guarantee that she can be safe. Slither from the Maldaba will get him out. And of course, having the turtle spin from Makoa. I'm just interested to see what actual damage Bomb King is going to be able to do here. Of course, the Grumpy Palm is nice, and it will help get his front line established. You know, that's a very dangerous front line too. But what they lack is true confirmed damage, especially in the face of an Eevee, Kinessa, and a Cassie. It's going to be very dangerous to face up against that. It really will come down to what can this Bomb King do to disrupt those damage dealers.
Alrighty, so no pressure at all on Rice here.
Yeah, none at all.
So we'll get Crisis to spectate Rice and see what he can do as Bomb King to kick this one off. And don't forget, in Twitch, if you actually have any players that you would like a bit of focus time on, let it know at Crisis. If he's watching that, we'll try and pick that up as well. We're just waiting for selections at the moment. Any card choices that have taken you, or the loadouts taken you by surprise? Seems fairly standard.
I mean, for the most part, the interesting thing, again, comes down to... actually, the Grover has a little bit of an interesting build. Going for, it looks like Verdant Expanse plus the Blossom cooldown. So, and then the increased range on Vine, which is something we don't normally see. A lot of Grovers tend to go with just reducing the cooldowns and increasing the radiuses of whatever it happens to be, whether it's Blossom or Vine, or, of course, just having the ability to utilize that crippling action, which is so dangerous, especially with an Eevee. If she blinks in and gets hit with that crippling throw, it would be not good. She will not be able to get back out.
But obviously, more mobility is the choice, though, if they're putting in the Vine. They don't want to get stuck anywhere.
Yeah, without a doubt. That 10%'s not very much. You know, it's very negligible. So that's my biggest question mark. And as you look at the Bomb King loadout as well, it's pretty standard. There's a couple of strange ones in there. Shock and awe we don't see a lot of in the NA and European scenes. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of positioning that this Bomb King is able to pull, looking for possibly getting the flank set up as the fight is kind of taking place on the opposite side of the map, where he's looking to get onto the Kinessa. But again, just not a very good opportunity. And he's really not running the extra boost when it comes to him poppy bombing himself. So trades happening back and forth right off the bat here, EJ.
Yeah, and points started to be captured now. So Human Radio just hanging back here, getting that point started. They got it up over 30%. That's pretty good for them. It's really only Grover just throwing some axes in defense. Charlene trying to pick at the back line here, not getting much damage dealt on, so they're going to want to have to probably move out of that position, or they're going to just give up the point, which I don't think will be in the favour of Avant Garde to do. So Soch has pushed back onto the point now, Lionberg with him. That's a fairly common combo we see setting up on the point here, and healing being done at the back by Crew. They got up to 69%, and they've managed to turn that around now. And be interesting to see if 4 April gets pushed off, which he does. I think it's going to get a bit of a swing back. Maybe not, in fact. Oh, I called that way too soon.
Yeah, Human Radio coming in at the very right moment, actually slithering into a more advanced position to get the Gourd and the Mending Spirits, which kept 4 April alive just long enough to convert that kill against Grover, with, of course, the support of Eevee, who had a delayed triple kill as she was able to get into that backline essentially for free. So Kings takes the first point, and again, it's really interesting to see this Bomb King being played. He gets really, half-shot it. As soon as he gets a full charge from Canessa, his health is almost immediately reduced down to about half of what it normally is. Plus, of course, having the Eevee right in front of you is never a good sign. So you can see him playing very passively up top at the advantage spot where he can really kind of chuck those grenades or those bombs down. But still, it's very difficult to land those shots, especially when you have a Canessa who's hard-scoped on you.
All right, so the cart has been stopped here by the boys from Avant, and they'll be happy with that because it's getting pushed around here into the front of the mill area, and that was a fairly solid push from point by the boys from Kings to get this started. The retake did occur, though, so they pushed them off, and we're just waiting for a regroup, and they'll come back in and try and take this objective again.
The key is going to be getting this front line established, I think, for either team. Is that's the real big key is getting everything set up so where you can actually get your damage dealers the space and the real estate they need. So far, that has tilted in favor of Kings, but again, as you mentioned, this is such a difficult part of the map for the payload push. That's kind of a death corner coming around that large tree. There's a lot of vision block. There's a lot of high heights and positioning that favors the defenders. And the Ruckus is trying to get into, again, to establish itself, but the Dredge Zipper comes out of the back end, and it's all red on the kill feed as the defense looks to completely thwart out, even in the face of that really nasty Dread Serpent right on the payload.
Yeah, no, Ultimate City there just hitting the payload, and the boys from Avant Gaming coming out on top in that engagement. And it was nice teamwork. There was some good focus fire there to get people dropped quite quickly. Poor April pushing through with the Marcoa again. He just backs out of it, realised he had no support. That would have been a certain ticket to death. As pretty much what Eevee just got over on the left-hand side of the map. We're under 30 seconds here on this first half. Kings picking up that opening point. They'd want to capitalise and get this through to pick up a 2-0 lead on the map and try to get that early start, put themselves a grand final berth. But I think we're going to see enough high-hold shift from Avant here to hold this one out.
Yeah, they're getting aggressive in the front line as well. The frontliners and Ruckus and Fernando are just really kind of committing themselves to keeping everybody else away. And as the announcer gets us to below 5 seconds, really nobody's close for Kings to commit. They could possibly dive on top, but again, I don't know what it would be for as overtime does stick out. Fernando and Grover are going to come back towards point, even though Eevee's trying to get some payload movement happening. She's really not going to be able to do much by herself without the support of the frontliners. And Makoa trying to get back to things again, still got to get poked out by the rest of the frontliners. So it could be interesting. There are a couple of kills.
The Bomb King almost won the game there with his rebound or his pushback. Not quite enough. The overtime is still on here, and Kings have not given up. For April, trying his best. Eevee up on top. Will fly down to keep that card alive if they need to. Struth's come in to back it up as well and picks up a kill. Takes out Fernando. That's a big deal. Bomb King equals it up. It's all down to 4 April. And the defense is successful. But that showed good intent. I hold shit. Kings have come to play.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm kind of questioning the use of the Whirlwind at the end. It was just the Makoa left alive, and Grover, for some reason, felt the need to pop the Whirlwind to heal up mostly himself, as the rest of his team was rather safe and just kind of poking at the health pool of Makoa, who he had mentioned was the last character left alive for Kings, and try to push that. So, questionable trigger there. The Ancient Rage was also used, though, so 1 for 1 at the end of that. And again, there's a lot of really late commitment, and it really wasn't fully guided. There really weren't any real big full-man situations, 3 or 4-man situations where they could come back in and really get that payload push. So, very strange kind of decision-making to pop some of the ultimates there near the end of the overtime.
Yeah, because I think you're right. They probably wouldn't have been successful with that and could have saved them to start this one off. They do still go in with an ultimate advantage. They have 4 ultimates up. That's the defensive side has the 4 ultimates up. So, and we do have a pause at the moment, so we'll just wait to see what the pause is for. We'll just Crisis is checking on that. Ping mode out or lags, someone lagging out. We'll wait and see. All right, so we are into the losers bracket semi-final here. The winner of this, as I said, will advance on to take on Abyss Gaming in the grand final. It has been the culmination of 5 weeks of Swiss round robin, leading into today's double elimination top 4 playoff. We lost Redux early in the day when their players were unable to attend. Corvidate stepped up and bravely took on the challenge of going into a final series with no notice. And what's resulted is here we are in the losers bracket, Kings versus Avant Gaming, and we are underway. It is 1-1 here. Scores are locked up, and a repause by Lionberg. And Rice is pinging a 300. Now, Bomb King throwing bombs is one thing. I hold shit. Throwing him at a 300 ping. Good luck to you.
Yeah, that's literally blessed up to the Church of Grover at that point, trying to get yourself to land anything. It's very difficult to do, even above really 150 ping. It's very difficult to find the registry you expect, and it is a very touchy registry. You know, the damage done when you stick is vastly different than the damage done just by proximity.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for those sticks and you're not getting them, it could result in a lot of fall off as far as what damage you're able to bring. And again, that's kind of the key for Rice is, what is he able to bring? And again, defensively, he was very strong there. Again, Grumpy Bomb right on top of the payload. Cart itself, it really does discourage the offensive team from getting on point and trying to keep that payload moving, which opens up space for the rest of his team to find damage. But if he's not able to get those damage down when they're actually fighting over the neutral capture point, his character is a lot less useful in that aspect.
He almost won the game with that Grumpy Bomb at one point. So if he can pull off a win and be a hero for a round, I'm sure his team will be happy with the pick choice when it comes to that. All right, so just over, they're restarting his router, so we'll be back in very shortly, I've no doubt. Over to the Twitch chat. We've had a couple of questions come in there, and I'll bring in Calder there. So the question is, has Abyss ever lost a game in Oceania? We know they've lost at the Worlds, but in Oceania, Calder, just how dominant are Abyss?
Tournament-wise, I don't believe they have lost a game, but I believe in scrims they... Now, don't quote me on this. I have a feeling Avant may have beaten them in scrims. However, we can't take scrims too seriously, as, you know, they are scrims. You try out things.
Yeah.
Actually, in EVs, they dropped one.
Yeah, they lost the Kings. They dropped them after Kings in the EVs Winter Classic, which was a big surprise. In the final week, actually, they lost a map. Never a full set.
Yeah, that's right.
They lost a full set.
Yeah, they've not lost a full set. Yeah, they've dropped maps. They dropped maps during ours as well, but very, very strong team. And that's why, at the end of the day, they finished top 4 in the Worlds last time. And they're going to, if they get to represent again, they're going to go one better than that, make the final, and take out the money.
I actually have a feeling Kings might have beaten Abyss in a set in EVs.
Oh, get that.
A whole best of 3.
I don't think they have.
No, they haven't. It was only that one map.
All right, so
It's just the one map, but...
Hey, so the word is that the Avant player who is lagging out is restarting his router.
So we stay. So I presume we're just staying in the game and waiting. The game has no pause timeout, so that's there you go. All good. All right. Can I bring up scores and things? Oh, I can. Yay! Look at that. Well, we can talk about something anyway. I hold shift. Damage being dealt. It is the Charlene out in front there. Not too much ahead of his nearest rival. 2,000 extra damage, but you know you'd expect to see that one up there leading the damage charts.
Yeah, without a doubt, I mean, Shaolin brings some of the best damage to the game outside of Drogos because that kid is just so strong, but Drogos does not do very well on Timber Mill. It is a very tall map, but those areas are very limited as where Drogos can go, and they're all wide out in the open, and there's a lot of really concealed areas that people on the ground can kind of hide and get the damage done. So it's not the best map for Drogos, which is, I think, a lot of the reason why we don't see him here. But still, getting the Eevee on board is big. You know, if the Eevee was to be shut down and not be able to find the flank kills that she needs and not find that sort of a damage, it would be a very different game when you're just resulting to get the Kinessa and the Cassie. And that blast damage is what they need to help counter out the potential of getting damage from the Bomb King is Avant Garde. So it's a good kind of pinstripe that we see so far between both the red and blue sides.
Yeah, and in the healing, it's very, very close again. Too early in the match with only 2 rounds played. It will be interesting, though, to see if we can see another 200k total damage being done, broken. But with his build, probably not, I would say.
Yeah, probably not, without a doubt. And this is interesting to see. A lot of Beldambas are picking a wide variety of builds, and I actually really enjoy the Swift Spirits pickup from the Beldamba. Again, if you hit that right click, it gives a vast movement bonus to the target that is targeted with that Mending Spirit. So not only will it give you the health, but it also provides a very big boost to their mobility. And you can really feel it when you're on a low mobility target, like if you're a Ruckus, for instance. That extra bit of speed really does help you to either maneuver into safety or to possibly get in and continue to push the issue. To stick with where a Fernando or a Makoa can get with their mobility and the sprint and the shell spin together.
we've had the word come through, so we will be unpausing very, very shortly and getting this round underway. 1-1, we are tied up here at the moment on Timbermill, and it will be, well, I don't know. I can't see what's going to happen, really. We can't predict the future. We'll wait and see. Wait till the players engage and see who gets the ascendance on this starting point.
It's really going to come down for me is what can Knessa do throughout the entire round, whether it is not just the neutral capture point, but if she does fall to defense or go on offense. Knessa does not do well when she has to continually reposition herself, and that's been the biggest default with her being on defenses. When she's backtracking, she's not very good because she's only getting out one shot every 15 to 20 seconds instead of every 1 second or so, which is very big when you're trying to confirm about 1,500 damage per shot.
All right, so we had some pause dismount. The players agreed that was fine because both teams did, and we just got going again. And unfortunately, I don't think Rice can take back control of his character. Ooh, this is going to make an interesting ruling if they have to go on. We've seen the players do have to engage, though, towards the point here. Not much on. 4 April's just up on the left-hand side, and Shield is popped, so he's quite safe up there. Flaretron and Human Radio up with him. And on the opposite side of the map, or just coming through now because they got dismounted a fair way back, Lionberg and Kunta coming through. And we appear to have the bot love. Now, I don't know about you. If you had an EJ on your team, I hold chip, you probably want the bot.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you've seen me play lately, but it's not the prettiest thing in the world either.
All right, so we'll... what we might actually do, Crisis, is we might just go to a short break while we sort this one out, and we'll be back very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, with the losers bracket semi-final. We'll be back with an update once we know specifically what we're going to do about this bot. Be right back.
I'm every bit as unconcerned as they are unprepared. Market flooded, needless to say, I wasn't scared. This all dropped the same day, I don't fucking care. Put listening stations in the store and let the public hear. Better yet, let's have an in-store performance. Make it oranges to oranges, meets walking dormant. After that, we'll shoot the shit with our supporters and see how many more discs of yours the indie stores order. See, you already know I out-rap them. On the low, we outwork, outthink, and outclass. Take them home, I'll sing this song. Take them home, don't leave them alone. Sing this song. Take them home, I'll sing this song. Take them home, don't leave them alone. Sing this song. Nobody's doing this thing exactly like we do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement about how we're going to resolve this issue. So what the team captains have agreed is we're remaking the map with the identical picks, and then the Kings team will be permitted to cap the point uncontested and escort the payload to just around the corner to where it was effectively in the attack. And then at that point, Abyss is going to gather around the payload, Kings are going to disengage, and will allow the defense to tick over so that we get restored to a 1-all situation in the game score, and both of the teams have an opportunity to earn some credits. No, not necessarily going to be exactly the equal amount of credits, but it's going to be some credits, and they'll be able to purchase cards and that sort of thing. So apologies for the restart, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately these are the sorts of things that you are faced with sometimes when the game is in beta, and Paladins is in beta. So we'll get things remade as quickly as possible and be back into this match.
To the brother out this motherfucker, regardless of stop all the nonsense. You see me lounging, call rhyme, say his office, I've officially lost it. They say my reputation precedes me. I don't know the meaning of off season. I ain't taking it easy, ain't taking a day off. Never had an off night, never been laid off. I live on the job site, it all pays off. The when I sprint through the spotlight and see your lips are moving to the true shit that I write, and we gon' be alright. Every night of my life is my night, cause I view the future like it's hindsight. I ain't waiting, I'm patiently persevering. I see greatness in the person in the mirror very clearly, and that's why I take this seriously. Baby, come near to me and truly, truly hear me. And I promise if you take me home, I'll sing your song.